everyone? I am Jarden,
What's up, everyone? And this is Nicole.
and we are here with the Playbook Diaries. We have a very, very special guest today. My
Oh my
friend,
gosh.
two-time Gatorade State High School Player of the Year, led her team to 3 championships.
Jesus.
Um, the NCAA all-time record for home runs in
Jesus.
softball. We have the one, the only Miss
Only.
Boomer Sooner herself, Jocelyn Alo. Hello, Jocelyn, and welcome to
Hey,
the Playbook Diaries.
thank you for
What
having
is going
me. I'm
on?
excited.
Yes, we're
We are
super
excited.
excited to have you.
First off, how are you doing today? How was your first day? Today is daylight savings, or I guess yesterday. Is the energy good? Like, what's up?
Girl, I woke up this morning and I was like, oh, here we go.
Same.
Here we
The
go.
hour
Same.
to the hour did something detrimental to you.
Yes. People don't understand that hour is like substantial, especially in an
Yeah.
athlete.
Makes a
I
crazy
need that
difference.
hour of sleep.
Yeah.
Makes a crazy difference. It really, really does. Once again, thank you for getting on the Playbook Diaries podcast. I am elated, stoked, overly excited to have you on the show. I've been super excited to interview you. Jordan has as well, and we have some great, juicy questions to ask you. And so I'm excited for this
Yay.
conversation.
Not juicy. All right,
Juicy.
guys. So, in true Playbook Diaries fashion, we're going to jump right into it with quarter one. We have the combine where we have a quick round of questions to see, are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Let's
All
get it.
righty. Jocelyn, you
I'll
ready?
go.
I am.
All
I'll
right.
go first with the first question. So, Miss Alo, can you name the three branches of the government?
Legislative, judicial, and frick, what's the last one?
You know this.
You know it.
You know this.
The legislative branch, the judicial branch, girl. Is it presidential branch?
It does represent
Executive.
the president,
Ooh,
but dang, Nicole, we were
I'm
not getting.
sorry. Ooh.
All right. All right. Next one. What?
Low key, that was the easiest one. Low key, I'm surprised you got the
Yeah. Okay.
legislative
Yeah. No, it's
judicial.
going to get a little difficult. It's going
Okay.
to get a little
Yeah, yeah,
difficult.
yeah.
All right. What is AU on the periodic table?
AU, gold.
Okay.
Solid. How many senators are in the United States?
Senators,
Senators.
is it 100, two per state?
Yes. Perfect.
Boom.
What layer of Earth does the weather occur?
This is low key hard.
The
This is
ozone
hard.
layer.
No.
Dang it.
Guess one more time.
Is that even like a right layer?
Is ozone layer a right layer?
Yeah.
The ozone layer like protects us from the sun. Like it's a
Oh,
layer that makes the sun not as
the
hot to us.
weather.
To be fair, that's what I initially said. I initially said the ozone layer, and she gave me that specific answer.
Right.
Everyone that we've asked that question to has said the ozone layer. Actually,
I have no idea. And I know atmosphere
it
is not the
is
right answer.
okay. That one's a difficult one. It's probably the hardest one. The answer is the troposphere. Um,
See, I
let's
couldn't
see.
even spell troposphere for you guys, so let's just leave it at that.
It's all good. I'm going to say that wasn't your calling. We know one of your
Right.
callings. Okay. What is the largest bone in the body, in the human body?
The femur.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay. Um, what was the first college in the U.S.?
The first college in the US.
I'll give you a hint. It's an Ivy League school. Like it's
Ivy
the
League
most
school.
obvious kind of Ivy League school answer.
Yale?
No.
Close.
Brown?
They got the
Girl,
same colors as
what's the
OU.
most popular Ivy League school?
Stanford?
The other red one.
The other red. Stanford not Ivy League though. I be thinking they are, but they not.
Stanford is Ivy League.
Is it? Does Stanford count as one of the I? They're not even in the conference.
Concord?
Harvard.
Harvard. Oh my god.
It's okay.
My god.
It's okay.
Okay.
I like
You want to
totally
ask the last
blanked
one?
on that too. I was like, I don't even know
You're all
Ivy
good.
League schools.
Not
You're
off the
all
top of my,
good.
probably not if I didn't know this question. You get the
Okay,
last one, Nicole.
this answer is I don't even need to give you a hint. What team had back to back Heisman's in 2017 and 2018? College team, obviously.
Oh, you.
Let's
Exactly.
get
Boomer
it.
Sooner, baby.
Boomer
Brr, brr,
Center.
brr, brr, brr.
Alrighty.
You got
So
majority
that,
right though.
yeah, you did. You did good. The Senator one is hard. I have to sneeze.
Bless you. Bless you.
Okay, I'm back. Thank you. All right. So we're going to move on to the second quarter where we have our lottery picks. So this is a lot more chill, a lot more relaxed. This is just about you and what your preferences are.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start it off. Who is your favorite artist at the moment?
My favorite artist at the moment, I've been listening a lot to Fiji, just my island jams. I don't know. Like, even in college, I never really listened to island music as much. I feel like just because I grew up there. But as of late,
Yeah.
it's been the only thing that I can actually play through all the way. You know, you like had those songs
Yeah.
you always skip.
Mhm.
I will play his songs all the way through.
So
It's
like
been
what
like
is
one of your
island
peeps.
music?
I mean, there's a difference between like island reggae and like other types of reggae, you know? But I feel like
Yeah.
islands just, I don't even know how to describe it, but
Is it like fast tempo, like
no,
upbeat,
I
or is
would
it
say a
kind of
lot
like
of
chill?
island kind of stems from old country music too. So like they sing a lot
That
of
is
Mm,
country covers.
that is not what I was expecting you
okay.
to say
Right.
at all. I was
But
not
when she
expecting.
says it, I get it.
I still don't get it.
When
I'm actually gonna have to go back and listen. I'll text you a song to listen to.
Right.
okay, favorite athlete across any sport.
Favorite athlete across any sport? I think for sure after watching the movie about them, Serena and Venus Williams, and just
That was such a good movie.
how their dad literally pushed them to greatness, I feel like resonated a lot with my story. So I was like, dude,
Mhm.
I relate to you guys 100%. So I really liked watching them, and then just how Serena is always like, look, I don't care what stigmas there are, like I'm just here, I'm balling, and that's just what it
Mhm.
Yeah,
is.
Yeah,
for sure.
very
For sure.
unapologetic.
Right.
That was a great movie. Like, really good movie.
Oh, I was in tears watching it.
Same. I definitely, I wasn't going to say that, but
I don't
I
remember
was in
watching
tears
it.
too.
It came out like
It
what,
was
two,
a good
3 years
movie.
ago?
King
2 years
Richard.
King
ago?
Richard, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
Was it
Like
last
two
year, a
years
year and a
ago?
half ago?
yeah,
It wasn't last year.
couple years.
It was before COVID, wasn't it?
No, it
No,
was after.
after.
I think it was
Oh,
end of 2022. I think.
It's
Don't
fairly
quote me.
new, fairly new.
Yeah.
fairly newish. Okay,
It was
so
before Will Smith slapped Chris Rock
Chris.
for
Yes.
sure.
Okay,
It was
great
in
reference,
between.
Nicole.
Yeah, it was definitely before that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
who is the most difficult opponent you've had to face at any level?
I think most difficult opponent I've had to face was Kat Osterman. She's an Olympic pitcher, and I remember facing her at the Olympic trials. But she's
Mhm.
just such a seasoned vet, and I was so young at the
Yeah.
time that I was just like, I don't even know like what I'm getting myself into. You know, I was just young. I was happy to just be there, and then she was freaking mowing everyone down. I was like, oh, I see the hype.
Let's get it.
I see the hype.
This is where we're at.
Right.
This is where
Gotcha,
we're
gotcha.
at. Okay, in your years of being a softball player, most influential coach that you've played for.
You know, a lot of my coaches have been very influential, so I just have to put that out there. Like, I loved
For
my
sure.
coach at the time, like in my journey. You know, my high school coach was influential at that time. But
Hmm.
I would say definitely the most influential is 100% Coach Gasso. I would take a bullet for her, for real. Like, and I feel like
That's a
a lot of
beautiful.
the players just are a testament to her and just what she can bring out of you as a player, as a person, and she just really shows you how to just boss up on every level, whether it's school, whether it's professional, softball, all that.
Was this your coach at OU?
Yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Coach Gasso. Coach Gasso, I would love to meet you one day. Shout out to you.
Shout out.
Shout out to you.
She putting out some players,
Man.
back to back to back to back.
Man.
She is two of the NCAA record holders for home runs right after each other.
Yee.
Right.
Okay, so that says something for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got Jocelyn, and then
Lauren
Jocelyn
Chamberlain.
beat out Lauren Chamberlain's record. So we had an OU athlete beat out another OU athlete,
That's
and
dope.
I was there when you beat the record.
Crazy.
And I was not supposed to be there. I snuck down there, and I was like, I'm not supposed to be
Don't
here.
tell people. Don't tell the world your secrets, please, 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 please.
Well, I don't have that job no more, so I can.
Right.
I
Not
left
a
that
job.
job, but I definitely was like, I don't feel good, and drove down to the game. But anyways, all right. So acting it out real quickly. What is your most used emoji?
I think my most used emoji is either the 3 sparkles that's like 2 in 1, or
Gotcha.
Okay.
the heart on fire. I think that one is so cute.
You
The
picked the
heart
two
on fire.
emojis that you literally cannot act
You
out.
cannot act
Right.
out. Yeah, I really wanted to be like, then act out, but it was like she cannot do that. She was
Like,
like,
not at all.
I would say my third
so-
favorite one is probably
Okay.
the fairy. So
okay,
Okay.
I'll take
What do-
that.
What do you be texting about?
Right.
What are you
Yes.
talking about for the fairy to be a
Hearts
fairy?
blazing, sparklers, fairy,
I wish I
Very
could tell
positive. Mine are dark.
you. Right. Hey.
for
My
sure.
emojis are dark. You got it, Nicole.
So you kind of hinted at this, but I guess we can get even more specific. What is your go-to pregame song?
My go-to pregame song, I don't have a specific one, but I just know I'm not a very like, here we go, let's freaking get at them player.
Yeah.
Like I'm a,
yeah.
all right, I'm here, let's do a job, let's get in, get
Let's
out.
go.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
definitely
Oh, wow.
definitely more on the chill side. As far as music goes, but like I remember like if the girls were playing some booty shaking stuff, I was for sure in the middle of the circle. Are you serious? Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna do what you need to do.
Yes.
Yeah. You're gonna need to. Jordan, did you have a pregame song when you competed?
In high school?
I mean, whenever.
We were
yeah.
are you talking about as a cheerleader or as a track athlete?
Whatever you want to answer.
So as a track athlete, I didn't want to be there. I was being forced to play a sport that I asked to quit. So I would literally just do my events, and I would go home before coach found me again and made me do
Oh my
something stupid
God.
like the 4x4 relay.
You're like, seriously?
like-
How'd you find me?
Like, I was just always so mad. I was like, I don't want to be here. And I was a freshman on varsity. I was like, that's a big maturity level. I'm like, I'm 14 with all these 18-year-olds.
Right.
I was scared of them. I was terrified of them. So we didn't have AirPods back then.
Totally. That
Not
too.
you old. My
We didn't have-
pregame
There were no
My
AirPods in
pregame song-
2010.
change. My pregame song would change every so often, but my last one competing was definitely "Return of the Mac."
I love that.
That was my stuff.
Before track, or are you talking about basketball?
Track when I was in college. In college, it was definitely at SMU. It was definitely "Return of the Mac." I changed my whole pregame perspective. I used to be like let's go athlete, and then I switched it to let's just have a good time. And so the "Return of the Mac" was like my vibe.
Right.
Not both of y'all are at peace before the competition.
Just at peace,
That's
because
so crazy.
once you know you got it, you don't need to do all that.
Hey,
Okay.
I felt that.
Have a good time. Like this is for fun.
Right.
Still.
All right. Well, with that question, we're going to wrap it up. And now we're going to get to the meat of the interview, the questions that the viewers sent in, and they really want to know about the Jocelyn Alo. So
Let's get it.
first off, we want to start by, I want you to walk us through high school as a dual sport athlete.
Right.
Softball and wrestling, right?
Yes. Very
Crazy.
interesting combo. You don't hear of it often, if not ever. But so I actually started at a Kahuku High School. That was my first high school. My dad went there. My older sister had graduated from there. So like obviously ended up going there. I wrestled there and played softball there as well, but their softball team just wasn't the best. And so wrestling was super fun. I After I had won states my sophomore year, I was like, I'm done. I know I'm not gonna continue to wrestle on in life, so I'm just gonna end it here on top, and I'm just gonna walk out of here. So
For sure.
won states for wrestling. We never made it to playoffs in softball for that school in particular. But then after that, I had transferred to a different high school, James Campbell High School, where I ended up graduating from. And now my youngest sister goes there, and then the one under me, she went there too. So we all are
How
Mhm.
many
kind of
siblings do you have?
three sisters. Yep.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So ended up going there. I didn't want to wrestle just because again I knew I wasn't gonna wrestle in college. Went there strictly to play softball. Ended up winning states there 3 times. No, 2 times.
Oh
Sorry,
wow.
2 times. Yeah. Um, and then it ended up just really elevating my softball game a lot.
Mhm.
But it was cool being a dual athlete. I would say I encourage everyone to do it because it's hard to just kind of stick to one thing your whole life, you know? And I think that's
Mhm.
just what makes you an athlete in general, you know, not just, oh, I'm a
Oh, I
softball
love that.
player. No, I'm an athlete, you know?
I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love
So,
that. I love
Okay.
that.
For clarification, you won state 3 times at 2 different high schools in 2 different sports.
yes, yes. Oh, yeah. I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
That is not normal.
I
Yeah,
mean, it's pretty
Like,
crazy.
what's
It's
going
pretty
on?
crazy. I
it
do
is.
love what you said though about the dual being a dual sport athlete. For any high school athletes who are listening, or you haven't even gone to high school yet, being a dual athlete clearly helped an Olympian right here. And I was a dual athlete. I played basketball and I ran track for fun, but I always saw myself as an athlete, and that's what propelled me to be a Division 1 athlete, because I saw myself as an athlete. I didn't see
Exactly.
Mhm.
myself as this or that. I'm just a good athlete. That's it.
Yeah.
So I really love that.
Right. Coach Gasso, actually, when she would come out and like go to see the girls she had already committed and stuff, she would go and watch our other competitions. So I know she'd always watch like the girls play basketball, she watched them play volleyball,
That's awesome.
just kind of in different environments because she knows how they perform as softball players, you know, but she wants to see that like side of you in a whole different sport. She really enjoys that.
Hmm.
She never got to watch me wrestle, but she watched the video
She watched you
that's
break records.
right, she did. But she watched the video on YouTube of me wrestling in my state finals and she was like, I need that girl. And I was like, hey, I'm here. I'm here if you want me, girl.
And you came on down.
Sure
So
did.
Shout out to Coach Gasso. So you told us a little bit about your journey with being a dual athlete. What about your journey with softball? How did you get started playing softball? You also kind of talked about like King Richard, and you can really relate with Serena Williams. Did you start your journey playing softball with your relationship with your dad, or how'd that go?
Yeah, so we actually did T-ball first before we did anything like all little kids, 4-year-olds do, you know. But
Hmm.
I actually wasn't old enough to play on a team yet, which was what I really wanted to do. But my older sister could play on a team because she was old enough, and I just wanted to do everything that my older sister was doing. And I just
mhm.
would cry to my dad, like, Dad, I want to go hit, I want to go hit. And he was like, Shut up, all right, I'll take you to go hit. And every night he would come home from work and I'd be like, Dad, let's go hit, let's go hit. And he would take me every night. So just that's just
Yeah.
how our relationship grew. And um, yeah, I mean, we did everything together. We traveled together. We've gone through ups and downs together. Like, my dad is my bestie girl for sure.
He's your rock.
Yeah.
So even with that though, you're from Hawaii, and what the hell was that even culture shock coming from Hawaii
To
to
Oklahoma.
Norman, Oklahoma, and you're away from your
How many
dad
hours
during
away
that?
were you? Eight,
Uh,
10?
it's like a 9-hour flight, but it's not ever direct.
Yeah.
So it's like 8 to Dallas and then one Dallas to Oklahoma. But
Gotcha. Okay.
it wasn't bad at all, to be honest. I have always been a very independent person. Um,
Okay.
my parents knew I had a good head on my shoulders. You know, I wasn't doing nothing crazy to put myself in any crazy situation. So I've always been a very independent person. And I
Mhm.
feel like that's what made the transition easier. But the culture shock itself was crazy. I did not know that it got cold in Oklahoma. So my first winter, I'd never experienced a winter before in Hawaii. Like our winters in
Yeah.
Hawaii were 75, clear skies. It was great. And then I got to
Mhm.
Norman, and the wind and the chill factor
She was like, what the
Chill
hell is
factor
this?
-6 degrees.
got me walking to class, and I had to walk all the way from freaking Headington to Burton. It was way at the
Yeah.
back of campus, and I was like, dude, this sucks.
For reference, Headington is the athletic dorms, and Burton is on the complete opposite
Yeah.
side of campus. That's. Did you even own a coat?
Softball
Jesus.
provided me with one, thankfully, but I did not.
Okay. Okay, I was gonna ask. I didn't have one big enough when I got to Norman. I was like, well, "Whoa, it don't get that cold in Dallas.
Right. It was
That's 2.5 hours away."
the food was, I would say, the same. You just can't get Hawaiian cuisine there, really, obviously,
For
which
sure.
I walked in knowing that. But
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, the people are cool. The people were chill. It was definitely different seeing like flat grounds because every morning I wake up, I see the mountains. It's green. It's
Mountains. Yeah.
beautiful. And yeah, I just woke up to Everest Trading Center right outside my window.
That's
So
funny.
with that, let's transition a little bit. I want to ask about this softball league that you're in now, currently. A lot of people don't know about it,
Hmm.
so I want to give you the opportunity to explain like what that dynamic is, and because to my what I originally thought was there was no professional softball league
Right.
up until when.
You know, actually, I don't. Our team, the OKC Spark, is not affiliated with WPF no more, so we actually departed from the league. There
Uh-huh.
is still three teams left in the league: the Pride, the Vipers, and the Texas Smoke. But
Hmm.
it's just, I don't know, it's different for sure. It's not like any other professional league you would think of. There's definitely still a lot of growing to do. And there's actually two professional leagues. So there's the WPF and there's Athletes Unlimited. And
That's
Hmm.
what I was about to ask you about.
yeah,
Athletes Unlimited.
that's more players led, and players get to choose who they want on their team, and you get paid based on your performance, which I think it works for some people and some people it doesn't. Where versus more where WPF is just, you know, you have your one team, we play softball, and you get paid however often we get
X
paid,
amount of
you
dollars.
know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely a little different, and I know that a lot of people don't know about it, which sucks. But you know, we're still in the growing process of it, and a
Hmm.
lot of women's leagues had to have gone through this before. I think of the WNBA and how far they've come. So I think we're kind
Facts.
of right in the midst of about to take off. You know, there's still a couple things that need to get right before, but a lot of us are still playing because we want to see the growth of it and actually see what a good product it can be, because we see it at the college level all the time. You know, there's like
Yeah.
20,000 girls, so a million viewers, you know what I'm saying? So we know
Yeah.
that it's a good product. We just want to see it transfer over into the professional level. And again, that's why a lot of us are still playing. Even in the league, there's a couple moms too, which is super cool. Um,
What a woman.
One of my shortstop, actually my rookie year, she was playing while pregnant, but we didn't know, and she wasn't really showing either. But towards the end of summer, it was right around her 5 month mark, and we were like, dude, that makes sense. Like, and now after when we were watching her play, we probably had like a couple games left. We were like, don't be diving for balls. Like, why are girls pitching her inside? There's a baby in there. You guys better
Yeah.
watch out. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So I
That's
have a deeper
crazy.
question about that. So being the dynamic of sports is a lot different when you're talking about women's professional sports and men's professional sports. So you mentioned like, we're women. If we're professional athletes, us getting pregnant directly affects our money, it directly affects our profession, how we perform, etc. Something that men don't have to actually ever think about or contemplate.
Right.
Um, you're still young, but how old are you?
25.
Okay, so you're still in the range where it's like, okay, I could have a kid, I could chill for 10 more
Right.
years, or, so it's like, does that make you nervous being a female athlete? I mean, obviously you've been a female athlete all your life because you've been a female all your life, but does that make
Hmm.
you nervous thinking like my livelihood depends significantly on me not being pregnant, so I am able to play this game?
Yeah, it does kind of scare me because I do want to have a kid young too. And another thing of
Wait,
mine,
what's
what?
young to you?
I
What's
would
young
say
to you?
like 27, 28.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, I
Yeah.
feel you. I feel you.
Um, but I
Listen
want
to
to
you,
have
girl.
a girl. You're telling me I need a ring first. I need a ring
I
first.
hey, he's gonna watch
I'm
this
with
episode. He's gonna watch this episode. So hey,
it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
But yeah, I wanted to have one before Olympics came around, which is our Olympics for softball is in 2028. And I just think it'd be cool to have my kid be able to say like he got to watch his mom
amazing.
play in the Olympics. I got to watch my mom play professionally. But
Mhm.
it does kind of scare me at the end of the day because a lot of people are like, oh, how are you going to be after pregnancy and postpartum and this and that? And now you have
Yeah.
a whole nother person to look after. But, I see people do it all the time. Like Naomi Osaka
Facts.
was
Mhm.
good after like a week after giving birth. She was right back to training. So I don't know. I just think
Right.
it's kind of excuses people make for women, but it's like we can most definitely do it. Just give us the opportunity and we'll show you. It can be done.
First
Yeah.
off, most people put their insecurities on other
On
people,
to
and
other
that's
people,
why they
yeah.
always say don't take things too personal because it's usually whatever that person's going through. Also, Shelly Ann Fraser as a child, and she's like the fastest woman in the world.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
it, there's no woman who does not have a child that was faster than her.
I was like, I
So to
think
put that into
Allison
perspective,
Felix is on kid number 2 and she's still
she's on kid
shattering
number
Yeah.
two.
records. Like,
Yeah.
And what's crazy is she's inspiring so many women because of that. So I don't know who the hell told you all that crap. I'm sorry, who told you that? But I am excited, and I think that that is actually one of the beautiful and intricate things of being a woman and a bomb athlete, that you can say like, hey, we have to be very, I think we have to be more intentional on our planning, obviously,
Yeah.
but you can say like, hey, like, this is what I want for my life,
for sure.
and I want to do that. So I totally respect it.
Yeah. And
So,
I totally
go ahead.
respect it.
oh no, you finished saying
Oh
what you
no,
were gonna
I was
say.
just gonna say like I had Kaylani Ricketts, she had her baby with us all
Mhm.
summer and like we're all girls, we get it. Like we're trying to help her as much as
Mhm.
possible. And
Yeah,
Pekka's her kid. She had the time of her life, she had 20 other aunties there helping her out.
just
Mhm.
hanging.
Kaylani was we were helping her as much as she could, but she did it with such grace and poise. And she is a pitcher and would go and pitch a shutout and literally would be in there nursing her after. And I was just like, dude, you freaking do it every day, and I love to see that for you.
Superwoman. So you said that you mentioned that someone carried themselves with such like poise and grace, and so I want to give kudos to you because for those who don't know, me and Jocelyn met because I was her class checker
Man.
Oh, that's
at
hilarious.
Oklahoma. I was literally hired to make sure that her and other athletes went to class and were on time. I had to sit there and make sure that they showed up and stayed in their class and did not leave
That's
um,
very fitting.
throughout the class. That's so crazy. So I've been a snitch my whole life, and it's gotten me full ride scholarships. But I
Pay
do
some
want to
bills.
highlight that, Jocelyn, you have such a young following and a very easily impressionable following
Mhm.
of young women, young ladies, little girls that are watching what you do. And to a lot of people, you are the standard. And I
They're getting the
think
chills.
from someone that was in college with you and watched you, I would just be like, hell no. There is
Hell no,
no
what?
way. Like, because when you have that type of influence, you have to be careful of everything you say,
Oh
everything you
yeah.
do, because she's being filmed when she doesn't know a camera's on her. She's
Yeah.
being watched when she's recognizable out of uniform. She's someone where if she goes into Walmart, she can be, and I'm sure has been recognized without wearing any affiliation to the team that she's on, Oklahoma, anything. And that's a stressful position to be in. And so that's why I said I wanted to give her flowers, because I think about myself in college. And that's why I said hell no, because I'm like, if a camera would have been following me at any point that I was like, at any point, 98% of the time, like I would have been in trouble, or it just would have been like a PR nightmare. And it's just like, that's a lot of stress and pressure to put
At
on
that
a
age too.
Man.
18 to like 22-year-old. We're still kids. And
Yeah.
it's like, you carry a certain responsibility, and it can be frustrating, I'm sure, at times, because it's like, I want to do this. What I want to do is very age appropriate for me,
Hmm.
but maybe it
But not
doesn't set the
status
best
appropriate.
example. Yeah, maybe it doesn't set the best example for the people that are watching me.
Right.
What she's posting, the language she's using, etc. It's just stressful. And
Yeah.
so, like,
Facts.
what do you think about that?
I think everything you said is perfectly correct. Like, I have to always watch like everything I'm doing. I think more so now because I have a little bit more privacy and just not being in Oklahoma.
Hmm.
I can kind of
That's
like
fair.
get away with, like, I can go to the grocery store and not be recognized. It's really, really nice. But then when I go to these
Hmm.
clinics and stuff, they think like I'm flying in on my private jet. They think I'm freaking
Hmm.
just all this crazy stuff. And I'm like, y'all, I'm a normal person outside of this. You like to go to Ulta? I like to go to Ulta too. You like to go to Target? I like to
Hmm.
go to Target too. But yeah, I was even now, um I used to be scared to like post if I was having a drink, and I'm like 23. And I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the legal age is 21. I feel like now I've kind of learned how to express myself a little bit more on a professional standpoint. As
Hmm.
far as like how I want people to portray me, I'm still a good person at the end of the day, but I still like to have
Hmm.
fun with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Of
I'm gonna be
course.
Yeah.
outside with my girls for sure.
You can do
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely learned how to differentiate the both. Um, so yeah, everything you said was correct, but I think now I know how to still be myself while still
Yeah.
maintaining the professionalism.
And is that something that you were like, you just kind of learned and navigated like on your own? Or like, have you actually been in like trainings? Like, I know a lot of football programs will like set the boys down and, do
Right.
this. If this happens, like, did you go through a training, or you just picked it up on your own?
Yeah, definitely. We just had to pick it up on our own for sure. I think, especially in my senior year, just with cameras following me everywhere, um, I had to learn just as I was going. I unfortunately didn't get to take a class on it, but just from experience, and just I wouldn't post something that my parents wouldn't like, that doesn't represent my family, that doesn't represent the university. So I'd never
For
be
Hmm.
sure.
posting nothing crazy, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely had to learn for myself, and I think they probably put guys through it a little bit more just because of the male
The nature.
professional. But
Yeah.
in women, you don't really see them in the limelight often enough for them to be like, hey, you guys need to take a class on this.
Training.
But I think if you're a professional
Yeah.
athlete in general, you're gonna get, like, I think women have it worse. We have creepy men in our DMs. Like,
Yeah.
and
True.
so I just wish they had that for us. But at the end of the day, like, you learn as you go.
For
Okay.
sure. I want to kind of touch a little bit more on your outstanding college and professional career, breaking records and earning numerous accolades. Um, I think that that's amazing. But at least for you, what do these achievements mean to you personally? You know, I want to touch on that.
Yeah, I think, to me, I've always kind of been a goal driven person. And when I shoot for the stars, I shoot for the stars, and I never thought that I'm from little old Hawaii, I'm from this small town that probably has 300 people, and
Oh
you don't
shoot.
really
Oh, I
hear
didn't know that.
a lot of people from the town, at least the town itself, making it out. So I wanted to really put
Yeah,
on for my state of Hawaii, my town where I grew up,
I put
and
on from my
I
city.
think it just goes to show like I showed myself really with the goals that I accomplished that I can literally do anything I set my mind to. And I've had a lot of people tell me no, but look at me now.
Here we are.
About the people telling you no, I'm gonna tell you one thing that pissed me off. Not about you, but what somebody like what they did to you. So when you were about to break Lauren Chamberlain's um, all-time home run record, when teams started walking you,
Yes, girl. Oh my gosh.
I like we were in the
Haters.
stands. Like, are the, like I I'm not too well versed on softball because you were literally the person that made me a softball
I
fan.
know.
Shocker, but um when I was at the games, I'm like, is this not some hater stuff? Like, is this like seen as being a good coach when you know the player is one or two home runs away? I think you were one home run away at that game.
Yes.
And like different schools were just purposely not pitching to you and they were walking you, knowing that you only had a couple games left in the season. And you were, I mean, the whole stadium knew you were one um, home run away from beating the record. So in the softball world, is that like a hater move or like is that frowned upon or
I wouldn't say it's a hater move, but how I viewed it is you're not being a competitor in a competitive aspect. And why wouldn't you want to see how your stuff versus up against the best? And yes, I was the
Yeah,
best at that point, but also like I was in it for the sport of softball. Like I broke the record, yes, and it was great, but I literally went up to the girl after that pitched to me and I was like, girl, like you're a part of history now, like, and this is not just a win for softball, it's a win for women's sports in general. So
Mhm.
thank you for
tell them.
just being a competitor in a competitive aspect. That's the only thing that kind of really rubbed me the wrong way. Not rubbed me the wrong way because at the end of the day I knew I was going to break the record, but
Mhm.
um
Cheese.
I was just
But
like,
you could have broke it by more
oh yeah.
and
Easily.
you could have broke it sooner because who was it? I know like I guess I won't say the schools, but at the final tournament,
Hmm.
the World Series like championship, there were multiple teams, and you were up to bat multiple times, and it was like
I ended up
we'll
I ended
never
up
know if that
breaking
was
it
going to
in
be the day.
Hawaii. So World Series was
Yeah, yeah,
like a
yeah.
couple months after that.
Okay, you broke it before then.
Yes. So I broke it
When did
probably.
you tie Lauren's record? That was
I
playing.
tied it at
Not
Houston.
was it Kansas?
Houston.
It was in Houston, but playing.
In Houston, yeah.
Who are you playing?
Oh
What
no
team are
no,
you
we
playing
were
against?
playing in Houston
I thought it was
against
against
Texas
Kansas.
State. Texas State.
Okay.
Yeah, it was my first at bat of the day. Freaking bomb center field. My whole family was there. My mom wasn't there though, so that's probably why I didn't end up breaking it there. But so a
Come on,
couple weeks
mom.
go by after that, and then we end up in Hawaii, where that's where I broke the record. So I love
At
that I broke
home.
it there. Yeah.
Of
Okay.
course. Of
That's a
course, of
movie.
course.
That's a movie.
Right?
Goodness gracious.
Do you mind if I
So
turn
Okay,
my
so
light on really quick? I'm gonna just turn this light on.
yeah, that's
yeah, do
fine.
your thing.
Yeah,
There we go.
no, that was like a movie moment.
Oh, it was
That was perfect.
crazy. It was crazy. I loved it.
So we
So,
talked a little.
okay.
I'm sorry, you go ahead, Jordan.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we talked a little bit about some of your highlights and how you broke the record. I also think that trials and tribulations are what make great stories
Hmm.
and great athletes. And every athlete faces a couple of challenges. I myself had a good amount of injuries. Can you share a significant challenge that you've encountered and how you kind of overcame it, whether it's in the collegiate side of things or professional or maybe it's something you're going through right now. Like, what's up?
Yeah, for sure. I love sharing this story. So my freshman year, I come in hot. I hit 30 home runs. I lead the country. I'm first team All American. Blah blah
Sheesh.
blah. So I come back the next year, and I kind of like starting to play softball again, but I feel the pressure of like, oh, like I have to do it again. Like Lauren hit 30
Yeah.
home runs 2 seasons in a row and started to feel that pressure a lot. But what a lot of people didn't understand was I was still 19 at the time, so I'm still young. I'm still
Mhm.
very immature as far as the knowing how to deal with the pressure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that whole fall, I was just like, dude, softball's hard. I don't want to play softball. Season ends up coming around, and still same thing. Just my mind is just running scenarios in my head, and I'm just like, I don't think I'm
Mhm.
good enough. I don't know if I can do it. All this and that, and then coach after the Baylor series, my sophomore year, coach kept me after the game. She was like, hey, let's talk. And I was like, okay, cool. And we're talking, and I thought it was just gonna be something about like um, my hitting or something like that. And she goes, hey, how you feeling? And I'm like, oh, I'm good. I've always been that athlete that's just like kind of never showed their emotion.
Mhm.
Um, and she could tell I was struggling, and a lot of ticking was just going on in my head. So she was like, hey, I think this week you just need to take off. You know, don't come to practice for a week. You're not going to travel with us this weekend. You're just going to be a normal athlete. I mean, a normal person.
Mhm.
And at first I fought her on it, and I was like why would you take me out of the
Of course
game?
you
Like
did.
I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
need more reps, you know, just give me more, just give me more. And she was like, no, I'm not going to give you more. I've given you more. I really need you to take a step back and really think if you want to play softball. So, um, ended up taking the week off and was really debating like if I wanted to play softball. And I almost quit softball because I was just like,
Wow.
I don't know how to handle this pressure. And coach was right. I don't know how to deal with it. But also, what was in the back of my mind was I was just like, I'm letting my team down right now, you know? And it's
Mhm.
so quickly softball can be taken from you. So something can be
Facts.
taken from you. So just kind of after that moment, I was like, man, I'm never taking softball for granted again. So after they came back from their away trip, I met them that Monday. I met them that Tuesday. We had off Monday, and I was like, girls, can you? I'm ready to be back on the team. I'm ready to be all in. I'm not gonna be a Daisy Downer no more. You know, I wanna get after it with you guys, and I wanna win. And they
Mhm.
let me back on the team, and then we had played Texas that next series, and after that, my numbers sprouted up. But it was because I was like, I'm never taking softball for granted again. I'm never putting
Yeah.
so much of my identity into a sport, into something that I just do. It's not who I am.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you
Wow.
said that because a lot of athletes don't understand that they are more than athletes.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mhm.
ran track my first year of law school and still fell into the trap of feeling like I was just an athlete. And it's
Right.
like, girl, you have other things going on, but it's so easy to feel like you are just an athlete when it consumes so much of your day, your life,
Mm-hmm.
your accomplishments. Your friends
Mhm.
are athletes. So much of your life lessons have came from playing sports. So great story. Great
Yeah.
story. I
No, it is
love
a
that
great
you ended
story,
with
and
that.
it's awesome to hear that someone with the numbers that you have, like you've been top of your sport for years,
Hmm.
and so I think it allows everyone else to kind of be vulnerable after hearing a story like that to say like if this is how the number one player was feeling at one point, you
Come on.
know, this is just a part of life. It's just
Oh
a
yeah.
part of the aches
I
and
I
pains of life
love
and playing the sport.
I love sharing the story, especially with the younger generation. Just because like social media is so apparent in this generation, especially like girls have separate Twitters specifically for their highlights. Like they have Instagrams specifically for their softball, TikToks specifically for their
Yeah.
highlights for coaches to
Mhm.
see. And I just feel like, especially in the social media realm, that they get so caught up in numbers, and I feel like I'm not doing this. All my friends are getting all these offers, and sometimes you just kind of like, where am I going wrong, you know? But I
Yeah.
like to just share the story with them and say, like, you're gonna go through some hard times for sure, but at the end of the day, it's gonna make you stronger, it's gonna make you better. So don't take these hard times for granted, because you need the hard times, you need the bad times, and you need the good times.
100%.
That's perfect.
Sometimes I
So
feel like you need the hard times more. I don't want to say more than the good times, but when you experience those good times, you're like, man, it was that hard time that kind of
Right.
helped get to this good time. You
Yes.
that
really need
shapes
that.
you. You need adversity. You
Pressure
can't just
makes
have
diamonds.
you can't have just a good day every day. You
Right.
need adversity. Adversity shows you who you are as a person and how you deal with certain things, and that lets the world know what type of person you are when you don't get things your way, when things ain't going your way. So
100%.
with that, I'm gonna kind of shift a little bit
Okay.
to the topic that I've been waiting for. So Jocelyn, you got a man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say his name. You got a man, but you don't have just any man. You have a Super Bowl champ.
Mm-hmm.
And so y'all's relationship dynamic is a little bit different because y'all are both professional athletes.
Yes.
What is that like? I mean, I have so many questions. I want to know, what is that like? Y'all's day to day, y'all schedules, you know, do y'all live in different cities? Because
Right.
it's just so
What
much
is
we
it?
don't. I just want to know everything. Just tell
Yeah.
me everything.
What?
Hey, I'm an open book. But yeah, I love our dynamic, and I love that he's a professional athlete as well. I think what makes it easy for the both of us is that we get it, and we both know what it's like to be at the bottom. We both know what it's like to be at the top. We know what adversity looks like for the both of us and how we both can
Oh
get
yeah.
through it. Um,
Mhm.
and he knows, like, when I'm kind of struggling or I'm having my bad days, he'll be like, "Hey, like, you look good, I think you look so
Mhm.
good." Just he'll try to hype me up. But I think just kind of us in general, we balance off of each other really, really well. And I feel like he's kind of the extrovert in the relationship versus me. I'm just kind of like on his arm, won't really talk
He
to
is.
people. Yeah. Oh, he's an extrovert.
He's an extrovert.
He can talk to anybody in any room versus me. I won't.
That's funny.
I thought it was opposite.
No, no.
I thought you were the extrovert and he was the introvert. That's so interesting.
Heck no.
So I do have a quick question. When did y'all start dating, and then um are y'all seasons at the same time?
Yeah.
Like y'all sports seasons.
We started dating my sophomore year of college, and then
What was it?
2019,
2018?
2019, yeah.
Okay.
And then took a little break for a year in 21. I wouldn't even say a year, but like 8 months or so.
Mhm.
He felt he needed to focus on football, and I was like, okay, I'm going to focus on softball. And then
Mhm.
I ended up winning player of the year that year, and I was like, clearly, I focused on softball.
That'll show him.
Right.
Focus.
But yeah, and then we ended up getting back together in 22 and just been rocking ever since, man. And he right now has a different season than me. He's playing in the UFL, so he's with the Renegades. So they start
Okay.
in March 30th actually, and I think
Yeah, he's about to start.
it's
Yeah,
10
they're
it's
oh,
10
they're are
weeks or
about to
so.
start. Okay.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
10 weeks, and then I know I leave for my things April 24th. So right now this is our house together, but we'll
Mhm.
eventually have to separate. But I mean, Dallas to Oklahoma is not bad at all. So I
Yeah,
end
And
up
you're
no.
located in.
in Texas, yeah, in Dallas.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Cool, cool,
So,
cool, cool, cool,
I
cool,
mean,
cool.
So
the drive is really easy for the both of us. Either he'll make the drive out there, I'll make the drive up here. This will be our first year with him playing at the same time because before our seasons were opposite. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, I mean, it's nice just having someone going through the same season as you.
Now what's the hard part about dating another professional athlete?
I think just the attention they get from other females and stuff, it's kind of really annoying, but I'm also a girl at the
Mhm.
end of the day, so I get jealous at any little stuff. But
I
But
mean, I
does he
get
get
it.
jealous? Does he get jealous too? Because I'm not gonna say all men, but a lot of men are kind of territorial, and you know, he was a football player
Mm-hmm.
at one of the best football programs in the country. And so maybe I know a lot of times men have a hard time with their woman being the center of attention. And, if you two are walking in Oklahoma, you might be recognized before he is,
Mm-hmm.
besides him being like a large person.
Right, right.
Like, where it's like I mean, when he walks into a room, you can tell he's an athlete of some
For
sort
sure.
because of his stature. But
Something.
off of just facial recognition, you would probably be noticed first because of your accolades.
Right.
And so, does he ever get jealous of the attention that you get? Because
I
I
wouldn't
just imagine you walking into a place and little girls are going crazy.
Right. I wouldn't say jealous, but he does see that sometimes, like, if little girls are swarming me, how overwhelmed I can get just because, like, I don't want to say no to no little girl, but also
For
at the
sure.
end of the day, like,
Yeah.
I'm a human and
Mhm.
I don't owe anybody anything, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
And so he
And you got
knows,
a plan. You have something to do, somewhere to go. It's like
right.
I can't sign 100 autographs.
No, no. So he will know kind of like when to pull me away and stuff, but I wouldn't say he gets very territorial at all. He
Mhm.
likes to see me like in my environment, kind of just
Mhm.
me doing my thing. He likes to see me like really thrive in my environment, like I said. But no, he doesn't get jealous, and I think just as we've grown literally from kids to adults, that just our
Mhm.
relationship and um dealing with being a professional athlete has made us a lot stronger for sure, and definitely has built a lot of trust in each other. But again, it's taken a lot of time to build that trust, and yeah.
I love that for you. And
that's
then
great.
my last question on the matter, Nicole can follow up with something, is what is, because you do have a young following, what is your advice to those little girls that maybe might put their sport after their boyfriend, and or that are struggling with just maintaining their relationship versus other priorities? It doesn't even have to be sport.
Right, I would say to just be 100% in on your profession and what you do, because to be honest, at the end of the day, like, if your man's is not supporting you and you're professional in what you do, and you love what you do, then he's kind of like bringing you down at the end of the day, and I would
Mhm.
never put my identity in somebody else. Never. Still to this day, I would never do that. So I would just say, like, be all in your profession, and don't let anyone try to steal that away from you. Like, you only want people that are going to uplift you in that situation. And thankfully, I have a man that does support me in those situations, and he loves to uplift me any chance he can get. Vice versa, too.
Shout out to him.
Love that. Shout out to
Shout out
him,
to
who
him.
I'm
Shout
not
out to
gonna
him.
name. Shout out to him, but he
You t-
knows I'm talking to him. Go ahead, Nicole.
so you kind of hinted a little bit at like what other girls might fall susceptible to in their career. So with that being said, are there any lessons that you've learned throughout your career that you think would be valuable to aspiring athletes or those that you believe follow you or look up to you?
Yeah, I would say one thing I know that's very apparent for sure, especially in 2024, is please, please, please make sure that you are taking care of your mental health. If you feel like
Oh my
you need
God.
to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Like, everyone is there because they want you to succeed. We just sometimes we don't know. And
Mhm,
I would say, just from like the other person perspective, like, just be a good person, ask someone how their day is going, and that
You
could
solid.
save their life, you know what I'm saying? um but I would say definitely take care of your mental health for sure. If you need a break, by all means take the break. I'm big on taking mental health breaks, especially in the professional aspect. It's hard and it can be very mentally draining on your body, just having to deal with a bunch of people, having to deal with the business side of things, then having to go and talk to kids, while also
Or stimulating.
having to still like be at the best of my game, having to perform every day. I'm having to do my own film and stuff. But just make sure you're doing your little mental check-ins, even if it's with yourself, you know? Um,
Mhm.
I'm always trying to do these mental check-ins with myself, and I can tell kind of when I'm falling off, when I'm not doing things that I don't normally do. So say if I start eating a bunch of junk food, or if I start just laying on the couch doing nothing, then I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
where's my mental at? How am I doing?
What's going
You
on?
know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I would just say take good care of your mental health.
That's
Especially in
great
this
advice.
social media age, I think that that is just so paramount now because it's so easy to get to have a fear of missing out or to look to the left or right of you and comparison
Mm-hmm.
and comparing yourself and taking that mental break is so key. I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I really, really agree with you on that.
What?
So we talk so much about softball, your relationship with softball, the contributions to softball, athletes with softball. What other interests and hobbies do you enjoy?
Oh my gosh.
Who are
Okay.
you outside of softball? You said that you are more than an athlete. Tell us.
Yes. I just I found my love for makeup my sophomore year,
Okay.
and girl, I be doing those beats. I be like, I did
Really?
my birthday makeup myself, and I was very proud of it. So I'm super into makeup. I love shopping. I actually just found this new hobby of mine. I like to make little charm necklaces. I like big statement pieces of jewelry. So I made my
Mhm.
own little charm necklace, and it had like a lot of red accents in it, like cherry, queen of hearts, stuff like that, like
Yeah.
queen,
Yeah.
all that. I love to cook.
Queen.
I love to bake. Um, I really like to be in the kitchen for sure. And I just recently got into, I wouldn't even call myself an influencer on TikTok, but I was literally
Mhm.
looking through my camera roll and I was like, I've lived too cool of a life to just
Keep it
not
under.
Not
share, you
documented.
know?
Yeah.
So
It's
I'm
true.
starting to share more parts of my life that I wouldn't normally share while also still in moderation, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. I
For
did
sure.
love
For
how
sure.
you named like super girly
Oh my
things, like
gosh, I'm
Yeah.
a
quote
biggest
unquote.
girly girl. Biggest girly girl.
Because what people like to do is with female athletes, they love to kind of put us like in a box, and it's like, oh well, she's a female athlete, like she can't like makeup. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
perception is, kind of butchy,
Oh, in softball,
she tomboy,
yes.
and I love how women athletes are starting to switch it up. Not even switch it up because we've always been like this.
Right.
It's just like it there wasn't an opportunity for it to be shown. I mean, Instagram. What year did you graduate high school?
17.
So Instagram came out in 2012. I
Mm-hmm.
was a junior in high school when Instagram was invented, and it was only for iPhones.
Right.
So not, you couldn't even hop on it if you had an Android. And I mean, it's just very
Stop showing
different
your
now.
age.
It's just
Couldn't
very
even get
different
on
now.
a
Like now you
Android.
can see athletes
Remember
and
the
just how
like
dynamic they are.
the to be honest or shout out for shout out?
Yes, on
Disgusting
Facebook.
era. Disgusting era.
Just
If
a
you go
era
on
is
my
like, what are you guys
Facebook,
talking
I would be
about?
shouting out
no,
friends that weren't even my friends.
Weren't even
people,
my
complete
friends.
strangers. I'd be
I
like,
don't
to be
even.
honest, you seem cool.
You're right.
LOL. Have a
You're
great summer.
cool. Yeah.
Right.
TBH, you're cool.
Disgusting.
You're cool. We should hang out. We should talk sometime. Like
Right.
you're just
Literally
saying
walk
something.
right past him in the hallway.
Oh my
Never said a
gosh.
word.
Right.
It was fun though. It
it
was
was it was
fun.
fun. It was the fakest
Like my
era
status.
ever.
No,
Like my
it was
status, and I'll do a rating.
right. It was the man crush Mondays, the woman crush Wednesdays, like Wednesdays,
Oh, that was
and
peak
I was
Instagram
like,
start.
y'all are wilding on
Cringe.
here. You don't care who you're posting.
If you go on my
Super
Facebook,
cringe.
it still brings up memories. It's like
Oh my
this
gosh,
day,
same.
14 years ago, I'm like, ooh, why would I say that? I would be
Like
canceled for half the stuff that I post. I'd be like, delete,
I used to
delete.
like
I've
my
I've
Facebook
deleted my Twitter.
statuses used to be like, you know how people would type like uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase,
Yeah.
lowercase? I was one of those, and I was like, why
Oh,
would you
that's
do
insane.
that?
It was cute back in the day, though. It was a
It
little
wasn't.
cute. It was
It wasn't. It was never. I used to look at y'all crazy.
not
I'm
me
like, do
it's
you know
giving
how
personally.
long it took to
illiterate.
do that?
It's giving
That looked
a
crazy.
little.
All
It, it,
right, so
it
we
does
are
look
at
crazy.
59 minutes. We're at an hour. Nicole, you have any last minute questions before we wrap it up?
I just have one last minute question. Here at the Playbook Diaries podcast, we want to highlight your story. Tell us what's next. Tell us what you want to tell us on what's next, whether it's regard to your softball career. After that, give us a snippet. Don't be bold with it. Shoot for the stars like you said that you already do. I want to hear something kapowie.
Yeah,
We
so
want to know. We want to know the play.
right.
I want to know the play.
What's the play?
How are we gonna win right now? But for now, as far as professionally goes, I have this summer with Spark, which I'm really, really excited for. It's our first summer not a part of a league, so I'm just interested to see just kind of how this goes and where this is going to lead to. I also had Team USA coming up this summer, so very excited to represent our country. As far as off the field goes, again, like I said, I've been starting to get more into TikTok and stuff, so I for sure just want to keep that going up while also still bringing about what it is to be a professional softball player and what it is to be a woman in sport. So I want
Show that.
people to know just kind of the ins and outs of it and kind of what it takes to be at the top, what it takes to play at the professional level, stuff like that. But I also want to get more into lifestyle things. So I want to start. I know sounds super crazy, but I wanted to start modeling just cause I think.
Well, why does that sound crazy?
I think
Why
I'm a
does that sound
super
crazy?
cute girl.
Like you're feeling
And
yourself. What? Do it.
Right. But
And
I wanted to
is
start just modeling stuff. I think it'd be kind of different and just a new adventure for me to embark on. And then what is something else? I do clinics on the side of this, so that's kind of like my second job, I would say. So
Yeah.
people all over the country, teams all over the country, they're emailing my agents and they're like, hey, we want to bring Jocelyn out for this clinic, so and so. But just to be clear, like, we don't say yes to everybody. Like, there's a certain number I have to meet in order for, like, I'm not going to waste my time,
yeah.
Easily.
So I do a lot of that. And I think it's still kind of growing the game in a sense. While not having the pressures of a coach where, like, oh, my players aren't performing this and that. So I still think I can get to the athletes, the younger athletes, on a physical and mental side. So I'm all for trying to grow the game. And then I actually wanted to do a big give back program back home in Hawaii. So I wanted to put on this big softball clinic and just kind of get a bunch of sponsors.
Give back.
And just because I wouldn't be here without Hawaii, my journey would not be the same if I wasn't from there. And just the support I've gotten from them and the support I continue to get is still crazy good. So yeah, this kind of couple avenues of mine. Hopefully,
We got a lot of plays.
Right. Hopefully I have a ring soon.
You will.
I've been dogging him about it, dude. I'm like, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
I'll shoot a prayer out for you.
Please.
Well, we heard it first. We heard it first, or maybe second or third. We don't know, but we heard it on the best sports podcast that there is. Jocelyn, thank you so much for taking out the time to come hang out with us. I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed yourself because I enjoyed your presence here.
Yes, I had so much fun. I loved how loose we kept it,
We're just hanging out.
Yes.
Yeah.
We are just hanging out. But just in case that you guys forgot, we have one of the best softball players to ever touch the freaking earth. And you heard it here at the Playbook Diaries podcast. So my name is Nicole.
And I'm Jordan.
And this is the Playbook Diaries podcast where every freaking story has a play. Peace out.
Bye.